श्री गणेशाय नमः। श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांशहस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। अन्तर्यश्च बहिर्विधूततिमिरं ज्योतिर्मयं शाश्वतं स्थानं प्राप्य विराजते विनमताम् अज्ञानमुन्मूलयन्। पश्यन् विश्वमपीदमुल्लसति यो विश्वस्य पारे परः तस्मै श्रीरमणाय लोकगुरवे शोकस्य हन्त्रे नमः। सत्प्रत्ययाः किन्नु विहाय सन्तं हृद्येष चिन्तारहितो हृदाख्यः कथं स्मरामस्तममेयमेकं तस्य स्मृतिस्तत्र दृढैव निष्ठा। मृत्युञ्जयं मृत्युभयाश्रितानाम् अहं मतिर्मृत्युमुपैति पूर्वम् अथ स्वभावादमृतेषु तेषु कथं पुनर्मृत्युधियोऽवकाशः। We are seeing the text Saddarshanam, composed by Ramana Maharshi ji, original text being in Tamil, and then it has been translated into Sanskrit by Kavyakantha Vasishtha Ganapati Muni ji. In this text, Ramana Maharshi ji is teaching us the vision of truth. What is the reality of this world, and what is that way, that path by which I will gain happiness undisturbed by sorrows, eternal happiness, eternal peace. How can it be acquired? That is the vision of truth. So, Ramana Maharshi ji in the beginning gave us two paths, path of knowledge and path of devotion. And both paths lead to that same non-dual eternal truth, which is pure consciousness and bliss. Then the inquiry, the discussion was emphasized upon, after which Ramana Maharshi ji gave an example that one alone has become everything. And then in the next three verses, Ramana Maharshi ji started experiencing how we experience the plurality of this world, or this world which is made up of many different things. Why do we experience this world, and how do we experience this world? Let us chant the verses from 5. सत्यं मृषा वा चिदिदं जडं वा दुःखं सुखं वेति मुधा विवादः अदृष्टलोकानिरहं प्रतीतिः निष्ठा विकल्पा परमाखिलेष्टा स्वरूपबुद्धिर्जगतीश्वरे च स्वरूपबुद्धिर्जगतीश्वरे च स्वरूपधीरात्मनि यावदस्ति अरूपकात्मा यदि कः प्रपश्येत् सा दृष्टिरेका नवधीर्हि पूर्णा यत्पञ्चकोशात्मकमस्ति देहं तदन्तरा किं भुवनं चकास्ति देहं विना पञ्चविधं तदेतत् पश्यन्ति के वा भुवनं भणन्तु शब्दादिरूपं भुवनं समस्तं शब्दादिसत्तेन्द्रियवृत्तिभास्या सत्तेन्द्रियाणां मनसो वशे स्यात् मनोमयं तद्भुवनं वदामः धियासहोदेति धियास्तमेति लोकस्ततोधिः प्रविभास्य एषः धीलोकजन्मक्षयधाम पूर्णं सद्वस्तु जन्म क्षयशून्यमेकम्. Raman Maharshi said, Dhiya saha udeti dhiyastameti. We had started with the inquiry, the discussion, meaning of this verse. The simply put, the entire creation arises, is born with the I notion, intellect, and with that alone, it goes into layer dissolution. Now, this creation and dissolution, you have to understand, is not physical. The argument here is from the standpoint of experience and not the physical existence of this world. Even though it relates to that, but let us understand. The samsara, what do we call as this entire creation, world, etc., affects me only when I experience it. And that which I experience alone exists for me all the time. How much ever hard it may be for you to believe or for in any individual to believe, understand. There are places on this world which do exist, but because we don't know about them, we are not aware of them. For us personally, right now, at this moment, they do not exist for us. And this brings up the question, what is reality? As it has already been answered, already been told, what is real, what is Sat? That which exists in all three periods of time. And with reference to our experiences, what I experience is the truth. If that is the case, then all my experiences go away in dream and deep sleep. Therefore, what I am experiencing in right now in waking is not real. The further argument can be made, no. That's not the case. What I experience and what other person also experience. Let me go to sleep. In sleep, of course, I'm not going to experience the world outside, but someone else is experiencing. And because someone else is experiencing, it is there. This logic holds no good, because this logic fails when it is applied to experience of superimposed rope or superimposed snake on rope. All these are technical discussions, but once we inquire into it, we start asking questions about the reality or reality given to our experiences and the creation that we are perceiving right now. Last time we had seen repeatedly, but I am going to repeat it again at the cost of undue repetition and redundancy, that in this verse, Raman Maharshi ji is not trying to deny the creation, but the reality given to that creation. Because this embodiment has been taken up as an individual self, a jiva, we have taken up this embodiment, and with this I am referring to this gross body and consequently subtle body and causal body. The creation has already started, because this gross body, subtle body, causal body also is part of that same creation. Who started this creation? Where did it start? When did it start? Those are the questions that is totally different topic, but let me answer in brief in few sentences. The creation started because we did certain karmas for which we need to experience karma phala. Some actions were performed for which we have to experience the results of those actions. For us to experience results of those actions, we need gross body, gross world, subtle world, and the cause of it all, which is ignorance. Therefore, the world was created by Ishvara, Parameshwara, based on the sum total of karma, the actions that were performed by all different individuals where they coincide, and perfectly the world has been created. Now, after the world has been created, in that creation, each individual jiva has created its own world, living in his own bubble. And while living in his own bubble, what he is doing is he is giving reality to all external experiences. And this is where we ended last time. There is small inquiry that we need to do, where Raman Maharshi ji said, Dhya sahodeti dhyastameti lokastato dhi pravibhasya eshaha. The world arises and sets. It is born and it undergoes dissolution with I thought, aham buddhi, ahankara or intellect. Therefore, this world is illumined by that I thought. The reality is the abode of the birth and death of this I thought. Dhilo sadvastu dhiloka janma kshayadhama purnam. The abode of birth and death of this I thought. From where does this I thought come? It is one, complete, and without any birth and decay. That is Atma Chaitanya, Atma Tattva. The inquiry is understand. External world is being experienced. Okay. Every thought in turn is experienced because of I thought. I see pencil, or let us say I see pen. I see pen. Now only when this I thought is there, see pen, this is pen, will arise. Without this I thought, ahankara, this is pen, will not be there. This is pen, not pain. This is pen, will not be there. Although this inquiry is a pain, but we have to accept it. At some point of time, we do have to inquire. Anyways, this is pen. Now, I thought. Only when this I thought is there, this idam vritti, this thought, this pain, object thought is there. So on account of I thought, there is object thought. One thought cannot illumine the other thought. Understand? One thought modification cannot illumine the other thought, because both are jada, inert, insentient. Yet, this I thought, aham vritti, is endowed with chit abhasa. What do we mean by chit abhasa? The reflection of chit. Chidabhasa is not something different entity. It is the reflection of Chaitanya Tattva, pure consciousness principle, in this I thought. So this I thought is reflecting in the Chaitanya is reflecting in this I thought, which is in turn illuminating all this thought idam vritti. So I is first, then see this thought is second. So this I is being illumined directly by Chaitanya, pure consciousness principle, and in turn, this thought, this is being illumined by I thought through its reflection. Understand the example, then you will know. There are few different materials of uh, cloth, etc., where mirrors are sewn in or mirrors are put on that cloth. Or imagine small mirrors, small mirrors, they have been embedded, sewn into a ribbon. Therefore, the ribbon has many mirrors. The ribbon has many mirrors. I am holding that ribbon, that cloth with small mirrors outside in the sun. Outside in the sun. And the light is, that light has been reflected inside. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's change this example a little bit. Let's take only one single mirror. That will be more accurate, more appropriate, and convenient. I'm holding a mirror outside in the sun, and the light from that mirror has been reflected in the house, inside the house, and in that reflected light, few objects are being illumined. Now, let me remind you. It's 12 o'clock noon outside. So there is some form of light which is coming from the sun, and in that light, the room in which the light has been reflected is being illumined. But it is general illumination, there is nothing specific. Few objects are vaguely being seen. They are not directly being perceived. Vividly, they are not being perceived. Now, when I turn the mirror towards those objects are being illumined in two ways. One is via sun directly, but the existence of those objects is not clearly visible, and via reflective medium, the reflected light, in which they are more vividly known. More vividly known, they are known separately from others. This is what is happening here. I thought and this I thought illumines the object's thoughts because it has borrowed Chaitanya, the reflection, or the reflection is in that I thought. So the I thought has borrowed Chaitanya from pure consciousness principle, pure awareness principle. And thereafter we know, because the reflected light is now shining inside that room, I see that object when I say, there the pen is. There is that pen. This is how we perceive the world. Those thought modifications, as though they go out, they envelop the object, they come inside in due process. The I thought is illumining this object thought, and the object is known. So because of this I thought, I notion, intellect, objects are known. Then the question arises, from where is this I thought coming? From where does the I thought arises? From where does it rise? Into what does it disappear? Where does it go? And when it goes away, where does the world also go? The world that has been illumined by it. Now, abiding sadvastu janma kshaya shunyamekam. Abiding in the origin of this I thought alone is the vision of truth. Abidance in it in reality. This origin is without any birth and decay. The origin from where this I thought arises is free from any modifications. It is free from birth and decay. It is eternal, complete, and infinite. This truth is realized at the seat of meditation nididhyasana. Now, this meditation is not any fancy meditation, imagination, thinking, but inquiry into the truth. You don't have to imagine anything in this state. Often meditation has, let me put it this way. Often the word nididhyasana is translated as meditation, which is in a way right, but the problem is the word meditation has been used in so many different ways and so many different contexts. Its original intention and meaning has been lost. Therefore, the word nididhyasana is better to be used. What is nididhyasana? Repeating the conclusion of inquiry to yourself so that contrary views go away and they do not interfere with my knowledge or with my sadhana, means of knowledge. Those contrary views, they are not just there, they have been acquired over many lives. What are those contrary views? What are those problems that we face? Nothing. We think this world is real and this body is me. That's it. So when we inquire into the origin of this I thought, what happens is the truth reveals us, the truth reveals itself. We know that it is pure awareness, pure consciousness principle and nothing else. This is one mode of inquiry. There is a parallel explanation. Let me just give you the gist of it. Let's not go into the details of it, because if we go into the details, the inquiry will take a lot longer. But let me give you what it is. Last time we had seen the example of virtual reality. And then the question is asked, is the experience outside or the object outside is there because I experience, or I experience because there is object outside? Two statements. I experience this pen because there is this pen outside, different from this body, or this pen is there, this pen is there because I am experiencing it. In short, both are true. This pen is there because it was created by Ishvara, so on so forth, the prarabdha, etc., everything will come. At the same time, it is there because I am experiencing it, because when I was not experiencing this pain, or even though when it is front of me and I am not experiencing, for me, in my experience of that world, this object, even though it is physically present in front of me, it is non-existent. Therefore, The world outside is that which I perceive or which I think of or which I see. As is my vision, so is the world. And when we go into this inquiry, we have to understand not just as individual but at total level. And when we do this, we also have to understand or also have to include this gross body, mind, etc. This body also is part of that same world. Here, there, I'll just tell you a beautiful story and we'll go ahead. The story is about Adi Shankaracharya ji. Whether it is real or not, it doesn't matter. Understand what is being told. So, the class was going on. Pujya Bhagavad Bhashyakar Adi Shankaracharya ji, he was explaining Mithyatva, etc. Suddenly, what happened is an elephant who had gone crazy. He came running towards the class or the place where the class was being conducted. And when elephant started running towards where the people were sitting, all people started running away. When people dispersed, during that commotion, Acharya ji, Adi Shankaracharya ji also started running. He also started moving, going away from the path of oncoming elephant. So somebody asked Acharya ji, why are you running? Gajo mithya, elephant is not real. Acharya ji replied, Palayanam api mithya, this running away is also not real. This is the true vision. Just because I am hungry, we cannot deny my hunger and say, in my mind there is hunger, therefore I am hungry. No. If in your mind there is hunger, in your mind there is also the food for that hunger. So eat that food and know that eating food is also your own mind. It is called Ardha Jaratiya Nyaya, or the maxim of half cooked chicken. I cannot say I have one chicken and I want to cook it. It's not I want to cook it, but it is the maxim. Half of the chicken I will cook for food and half I will keep it just like that so that it gives me eggs. That's not how it works. If that vision is going to be there, then it will be everywhere all the time. Having said thus, Raman Maharshi ji says, in short, the root cause of this entire creation is nothing but this ahankara, mana, buddhi. Ahankara, ego, mana, mind, buddhi, intellect. Then the question arises, oh Raman Maharshi ji, I have one serious question. If you ask in such a way, Raman Maharshi ji will smile. Because there is no such question, such thing as serious question. All answers are simple. Just try to know who is asking the question. Anyways, keeping the humor aside, somebody asked Raman Maharshi ji, okay, Raman Maharshi ji, you are saying all this, the path of inquiry, the vision of truth, etc. But you came here to meet Arunachala Shiva. You came here to have the vision or darshana of Shiva. Why did you come here? Why did you come? If that is the case, then the vision of truth could have been acquired at your place also. Anywhere it can be get. You can have the vision of truth anywhere. Why do puja, japa, etc.? Why do karma? Just sit somewhere and think of that truth. Try to gain the vision of that truth. Simple. Raman Maharshi said, no. Raman Maharshi said, the spiritual practices like puja and japa, let them be there. In a way, they are needed for gaining purity of mind, which is in turn required for the inquiry into the nature of truth or for the vision of truth. Let us see the verse. भवन्तु सद्दर्शनसाधनानि परस्य नामाकृतिभिः सपर्या सद्वस् सपर्याः सपर्याः सद्दर्श okay, it should be saparyaः. भवन्तु सद्दर्शनसाधनानि परस्य नामाकृतिभिः सपर्याः सद्वस्तु निप्राप्त तदात्मभावः भावात् निष्ठैव सद्दर्शनमित्यवेहि. Raman Maharshi ji is explaining, he is saying, Parasya, the one who is para, of the supreme, of pure awareness, pure consciousness principle, Brahman, Ishvara. Nama Akrutibhihi, with Nama, name, Akruti, form, with name and form. Saparyaha, worships, puja, japa, etc. Saddarshana sadhanani, means of the vision of truth. Bhavantu, let them be, let them become. Sadvastuni, in reality. Nishtha, abidance. Prapta tadatma bhavaha, prapta, gained, understanding, acquired. Tadatma bhavaha, where the understanding that it is tad atma bhava, it is that supreme pure consciousness principle is me, that Brahman is me, the Swarupa of that Ishvara is me. Tadatma bhava, the pure nature, I am pure consciousness principle, this bhava, this understanding, eva, this understanding alone, Saddarshanam, is the vision of truth. Avehi, know this. Raman Maharshi ji is saying, let the worship of name and forms of Supreme Being, Ishvara, be there. Be means to the vision of truth. Know that abidance in the reality as it is me alone is the vision of truth. Simple. This path of direct inquiry, trying to know the vision of truth directly. Who is asking question? Who am I? Who is this? I. Who is this I? Who is this I? This inquiry, even though it sounds simple and good, it has one major defect. It is not defect as such per se, but something is taken for granted, and it is not the defect in the means, but defect in us who take up that mean. When we take up that means, or when we take up that mode of gaining or that path, most of the time we underestimate the other paths. and we disregard them and throw them away. Raman Maharshi ji is directly addressing this problem. He is saying, if you want to know, gain the vision of truth, then it is not necessary to give up puja, japa, worship of the Lord, reciting the name of the Lord, name of Ishvara. Knowing the truth is not worshipping the Lord, but knowing that it is me, the nature, the true nature of it, Ishvara, and me, I, Jiva, it's same. Knowing this alone is the vision of truth. For this vision, what is required is purity of mind and clarity of knowledge. Our Acharya ji, when we were learning, he used to repeat this phrase many times to us. After you have learned certain number of texts, after you have learned how to inquire, in the end, what you need to have in the end is purity of mind and clarity of knowledge. Just having clarity of knowledge will not help. You need purity of mind alone, and that purity of mind can easily be acquired by puja and japa. This is where we need to understand one point, that we need to separate the means from the goal and the purpose. What is the goal? The goal is gaining of pure happiness or gaining of eternal happiness without any sorrow. Okay, that's your goal. How do we gain that? We need to gain Brahmajnana. So Brahmajnana is to be gained. How do we gain Brahmajnana? By knowledge. Knowing what? That I and that Ishvara is one. You have known now? No. This is not the knowledge. This is just verbal repetition. I need to directly experience. Why are you not experiencing? Because right now I am experiencing this world. Not just experiencing the world, but experiencing the world as real as me. I am and this world is. This is the pratibandha, the obstruction. How will this pratibandha, the obstruction, go away? Only when purity of mind is gained. Then this purity of mind should not be my goal. This purity of mind is intermediary. It is not the final goal. What do I have to do? I have to perform puja, japa, etc. by which I will gain purity of mind. My mind will become subtler and subtler. What do I mean by subtler? I will start thinking of Ishvara more than Vishaya, the objects outside, the objects of pleasure. When the mind is thinking of grosser object, the mind becomes grosser. When the mind starts thinking of subtler objects more and more, it becomes subtler. So if I am worshipping Ishvara with form, but I get stuck up in its form and not the truth behind that form, it is still an obstruction. Slowly I have to overcome these obstructions, and then when the mind becomes pure, the knowledge is gained. Till then, worships, puja, japa, let them be there. these cannot be given up. At the same time, we cannot hold on to these means eternally. So there is this very beautiful example Swami Tejavananji had given. The example is simple. Okay, what do you want? I want to be happy. How can I get happiness? I'll be happy when I have one bungalow, two cars, a dog, a horse, and steady income source. Okay, how are you going to achieve that? These are the means. This is my business proposal. These are my investment proposals. Currently, I have invested in these many things. These are my investments, etc. And with all these, I am planning to gain these. Okay. Then I have to, the problem is, I have to maintain that steady flow of income. So what are you going to do? I'm going to continue work. In the end, the problem is we go on acquiring money, which in turn buys us the objects that we want, our objects of desire, but we fail to experience the object of desire because we fail to experience the happiness through those objects because we are caught up with acquiring more and more money and more objects, and we fail to experience the happiness, even if infinitesimally small, let that be. We don't experience it because we have given up on goal, which is our happiness, and we have stuck to the means by which we are trying to gain that happiness. Whether these means are right or wrong, that is not the discussion here. The discussion is we hold on to these means. Think of it this way. After crossing the river, do we carry the boat which helped us cross the river, or we keep it behind and get onto the ground? We keep that boat behind. We do not carry it on our shoulders. It has done its duty, it has done its purpose. Let it be dropped. But only when it has served its purpose, not before, not later. The means will get dropped, they should be dropped after they have served its purpose. Till then, those means are necessary, required. That's what Raman Maharshi says. Let those means be there. He is all omniscient, omnipotent. He is most beautiful. He will help you with everything, and it is his pratijna. He has pledged. He has said himself, declared that I will help those. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan Krishna says, तेषामेवानुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानजं तमः नाशयाम्यात्मभावस्थं ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. For those who are pure of mind, those who are my devotees, for them, what I do is I will remove the darkness of ignorance by knowledge, and that knowledge is given by me myself. Aham jnanajam tamaha nashyami. Their darkness of ignorance is dispelled by me. Jnanadipena bhasvata, by the lamp of knowledge. Till then, go on doing puja, japa, etc. They are not going to contradict each other if we have the right vision, the right discrimination. Therefore, all puja, japa, etc. are paths for purification of mind. However, the goal should be abidance in the truth, We should not get caught up in means and forget that my goal is knowing that which I am worshipping right now is me, myself. The mind which is purified by spiritual practices alone is fit for inquiry. Now Bhagavan Raman Maharshi ji is going to explain that different paths for gaining that Brahma Jnana. Raman Maharshi is going to explain different paths for gaining that Brahma Jnana. Let us see the 11th verse. Dvandvani sarvanyakhilastriput. द्वन्द्वानि सर्वाण्यखिलास्त्रिपुट्यः किञ्चित् समाश्रित्य विभान्ति वस्तु तन्मार्गणे स्याद्गलितं समस्तं न पश्यतां संचलनं कदापि. सर्वाणि द्वन्द्वानि, all dualities. अखिलाः त्रिपुट्यः, all triputis, triads. Triputi. Kinchit vastu, some entity, something. Samashritya, taking support on. Vibhanti, they shine. Tanmargane, when that is searched, when it is inquired. Samastam, everything, all. Galitam, gets dropped. Satpashyatam, to them, Pashyatam, those who see. Satpashyatam, to them, those who see the truth. Na chalanam kadapi, there is no movement whatsoever. What is it? Let us see. All pairs of opposite, all triputis, all dvandva and triputi. The pairs of opposite, the triads, the combination of three, are taking support of some entity. They are dependent on something. When that is searched, when that entity is inquired into, all will get dropped. Everything gets dropped. To them, those who see the truth, there is never any wavering whatsoever. This is a stepping stone for the next verse. Raman Maharshi ji is saying, okay, let me just simply explain what the verse is trying to say, then we will see a small example. All dvandva, all pairs of opposite, all dualities, such as happiness and sorrow, hot, cold, calm, angry, etc. They are all dependent on the vision, or they are all dependent on some entity. They are sapeksha, relative. Then triads, triputi, jnata, jnana, jneya, knower, known, knowing. Everything is dependent on something. That entity, that entity is the support for all these triputi and dvandva. And when that entity is inquired into, what is it? When it is inquired into, everything, all dvandva, all dualities and triputi, they will be dropped. Only when that is inquired into, everything will get dropped. To them who see the truth, to those who see the truth, there is never any wavering. Those who have seen the truth, they are not disturbed. Let me give you a small example. So, what happened is, understand, all Dvandva, Triputi, when will they go away? Even if one of that is left behind, everything comes back. So, what happened is, there was once a traveler going around. He knocked on a door, a house, and just loudly said, "Can I come in?" Now, the woman of the house, the wife, she saw some neatly dressed man is asking if he can come in. He has a bag in his hand. She thought that he must be someone from husband's family. So she said, "Why not? Why not? Come in, have a seat. Atithi Devo Bhava." If the Atithi, the one who comes without proclamation, he is still treated as Deva, as something who is honorable, etc. Anyways, there of course there we have to do Viveka discrimination whether he is thief or not, different part. So that person he entered, he sat. It was almost tea time. She said, "Wait for a few minutes. I'm just heating the milk. I'll get some tea. Don't worry. My husband he will come very soon." The husband came. When he came, he saw this person. He said, "Namaste, how are you?" etc. And the husband thought that this person is from wife's side. Now the wife is thinking that he is from husband's side, he's a distant relative. The husband is thinking this person is wife's distant relative. The person stayed, he stayed for dinner, the next day, the day after. Many days went by. One day, it started becoming hectic because that person, the husband also, he was not very rich. So he started realizing now this cannot continue. So he asked his wife, "Why don't you ask the person like he's your family member? Why don't you ask him to now take leave? We have our own things. We cannot ask him, but something we have to do." Wife said, I don't know him. He's not from my family. I thought he is from your family. You should ask him." Husband said, "He's not from my family." They both now realized that he is someone only. They both don't know him. Now what to do? They had an idea. They said, "Let's do one thing. We will enact a quarrel, so much so that I will start beating you like crazy, and you should start crying out loud very much, so that this guest he feels ashamed and he himself will go away. We will quarrel. It will all be in a game. It will be an act, but if we make this person feel ashamed, he will go away." So they enacted. Even the neighbors thought, what happened? This peaceful couple, they have never quarreled it to this date. Something must have happened, but they were afraid if they come to solve the quarrel, they will get caught up, they will get the beating. So nobody came. This person, now this person, he thought it's not good to stay here anymore. So he walked out. husband and wife, from corner of their eyes, they saw the person has gone away, and then they started discussing how good my acting was that I started quarreling with you. The wife said, how good my acting was, I started crying out loud, etc. And while they were discussing, he said, yes, 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 I acted like I am beating you. He said, I acted like you are beating me and I am crying out loud. And when they were saying this thing, the guest who had gone away, he came in and said, I also acted like I had gone away. So any one part is left behind, the other thing will come. Triputi. They are interdependent on each other. I cannot say just cold. When I say cold, automatically something which is hot will always be there. Yet, they both are dependent on something which is different from them, and when that entity is inquired into, that entity is known, these both lose their existence. How? What is it? That inquiry we will do next time. Om Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritangamaya Om Shanti 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 हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ